Fellow Rotarians, friends, brothers and sisters, it's with utmost pleasure that I'm here with you this morning. I want, first of all, to thank you for taking the time to come and meet me and listen to me. And also, I want also to thank the Rotary Club of Kingston for that lovely lunch that Susan and I just had. And we are good for the road until we get home after that. So we won't need to stop to eat on the road. What I would like to share with you is my journey in Rotary. And then afterwards, we might talk on other things. But what I want to share with you is how I became a member of the Rotary Club of Port Louis Mauritius, and how I became that dedicated Rotarian I am today. Everybody has got their Rotary moments in life. The best thing is always to share it with people around you and be passionate when you share those moments. As A.G. Paul said, I joined in 1988. In fact, in 1988, a friend and a client of mine one day called me and asked me, Michel, you want to join me for lunch? I said, yes, on the spot. Why not? Being invited for lunch, meeting and sharing with a friend, it's great, right? So he came and picked me up, and I didn't even know where I was going. So from my place to that place, as soon as I walk in, it's about 5 minutes from between my office and the place the Rotary Club meets. So as soon as I walk in, it was a wow, because in that room, there were so many friends of mine, schoolmates, corporate leaders, community leaders with whom I intermingle many times, always. I had great fun sharing, eating, drinking, talking. And it was in the nicest restaurant in town. As you know, Rotary always try to find quality places to meet and to share fun. After that, I was dropped back in my office. A month later, my friend called me again and asked me, hey, since you liked it last time, do you want to join us again? I said, of course, yes. Free meal in the nicest restaurant in town and meeting so many good friends. Why not? Good. So I agreed, had the same fun again, and afterwards he dropped me back. A month later again, he called me. He said, since you love it so much those past 2 times, would you like to come with me again today? I said, yes, of course, no problem. But something different happened between the first 2 times and the 3rd time. Even though it took 5 minutes from my office to that place, the conversation in the car was different. The 3rd time he asked me, what about thinking to join us? Well, I've never thought about it. Yeah, it will be good. You have so many friends, you have fun, etc., etc., and you can do it. But we didn't have the chance to talk much because it's so close, and by the time we asked a couple of questions, we were already there. And when I walked into the room that 3rd time, the friends asked me, also a few of them, not all, a few of them, hey Michel, it would be good if you could join us. We can have fun. We can do things together. We are already meeting on different platform and different organization where we do things. But with Rotary, you will have more fun and more enjoyment. That's it. I have to know how much it will cost me. what are my commitments? No, you can do it. You are your own boss. There's no problem. You have the time. It's okay. You can make it. And you're so heavily involved in the community already, it won't be a problem for you. Finally, I agreed to join. But when I agreed to join, then afterwards, I knew what was happening. From the first to the second, from the second to the third, I was being processed. I was being processed. There were background checks. There were things happening. It went through the board. I mean, through the membership committee, then through the board, then afterwards to all the members. You know, the reason is if there's any, even if the membership approve, if the board approve, if a member object against my integration as a member, it's an issue. So then they didn't want to inform me, they didn't want to invite me until I was green lighted everywhere. So that's why the conversation was totally different the third time we met. On the 1st July 1988, I was inducted as a new Rotarian in the Rotary Club of Mauritius at the change overnight. It was a great night, fun. I enjoyed myself very, very much because, you know, it was we Rotarians, we know how to do things, and it's always classy. A couple of months afterwards, I was co-opted to the Community Service Committee. And by the end of the year, 3-4 months before the end of my first Rotary year, I was promoted as Vice Chair of Community Service. At the beginning, I didn't want to, but they told me that you can do it, you know, you have the ability to accept. When I sit down in my heart, I knew I could work. There's no problem about it. So I agreed. Fine. Second year, before the end, at the beginning of the next Rotary year, which was my second year, the board proposed that I take over as chair of the community service. I took it without hesitation because I knew I could do something, but however, we had long conversation before I took it. Because I didn't want to face issues whereby there were issues before. At the start of my term as chair of the community service, you know, Rotary Club of Mauritius is the oldest club in town, on the island. So the territory is the island. Like for the other clubs that were incepted afterwards, their ground was more regional. But for us, it was the island. So as chair of the community service, I visited the island. I visited many organizations to see what their needs were, etc. So that's how we can get involved. Something came to me right in my heart is there was some organization for the mentally challenged, physically challenged, you know, blind, deaf, you know, all of them, they were like in different homes, but they didn't have facilities to go out for any special event. But as community chair for the Rotary Club of Mauritius, I got the collaboration of 5 big corporations that have buses to bus their employees morning and night, back and forth. But on Saturday, Sunday, they are free. We could make use of them. So I communicated with my friends, and I got 5 of them who agreed to put their bus at our disposal for one Saturday. I also communicated with a friend of mine who was the GM of a 5-star hotel. The name is La Pirogue Hotel. The hotel is still running today. Very nice place, right on the west of the island, very nice beach, etc. He agreed to host and feed free of charge the whole crowd that I was going to bring. So on that very day, Rotarians were in the bus with their spouse and children, and others in their car following the bus, just in case there was any issue. So the 5 buses went over the island and picked up all the people and brought them there. It was a great moment. You could see the smile, the joy, the fire in the eyes of those people who were having fun, which if we didn't do it, they wouldn't have had that opportunity. Early afternoon, when everybody after lunch, everybody was singing, dancing, having fun, someone from the crowd just rushed in front of the band, grabbed the mic from the singer, and started to sing. It was one of the challenged persons. And that particular person was dumb and deaf. So what could he say? It was just up, 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 and he was jumping, you know, having so much fun that all the people around melted. Because, you know, when you see things like that, you will never forget that. And from that moment, I knew I can make a difference in the life of others if you really put the heart and the work to do it. I use my connection. I use all the help. It's not me, it was a teamwork. My committee, my club, and my friends who agreed to support that. From that moment, I became that dedicated Rotarian I am today. And I can tell you also, I would like to share with you, I'm a 100% attendance Rotarian since I joined. Because I never missed a meeting and I never missed to visit a club wherever I travel. Sometimes I even visit 2-3 clubs in a week, just to share the fellowship and friendship, and also to learn how they function, to take the good of what I could take, because you never finish learning. You know, what I just shared with you, I did that at the Rotary Club of Plattsburgh noon. After sharing that, the president raised his hand and he rose up and he said, DG Michel, besides that, what another big moment is a wow in your life as a Rotarian? In fact, I have many of them, but there's a second one which I'm so proud of having been able to achieve, and I'm going to share it with you because I have been doing that to all the clubs I have been visiting. As chair of the community service, we go, as I say, we visit, we assess where we can help, where we can make a difference in the life of those less fortunate than others. In one of the suburbs of Port Louis, an area called Trackbar, there were a need for a center, a place to meet, a place where the people could meet, where the elders could go and share some fun and meet and talk, where children can have their tuition by mentors free of charge who come to help them. Sometimes you may have people who are volunteering their time, but there's no place for them to do it. Because in the individual people's place, they don't have that place, that facility. And they will even feel ashamed or bad to get that people at their place because for them, it's not okay, proper. So during one of my visits at that place, that area, a group of leaders, elder and young, they came to see me, and they told me, Mr. Wong, the previous chair of the community service for 2-3 years now has been telling us that will help us for that, to put that building up, but up to now, nothing. At that very moment, I knew personally that so many people in that industry of building materials, etc. And also in our club, there were engineers and architects, building contractors. I knew I could do something, but I didn't take any commitment. I said, okay, I'll see what I can do. We'll meet next week. I didn't promise anything. In the meantime, got my committee at work, went to the board approved what I suggested, because I told them that it won't cost much for the club, because I was going to make use of all my connections. And in Mauritius, you can do it when you know people and when people know you, because they know that you're genuine, that you're not doing it for yourself, you're doing it for those who are in real need. So everything set up, met with the group again a week later. And I told them, I'm happy to be with you and meeting you again, but I've got good and bad news for you. The good news is you might get your center, but the bad news is you are going to build it. They were shocked. How can we build it? We thought how the risk. No. In the community, in all community, anywhere you have masons, bricklayers, carpenters, ebenists in the population. Where you don't have them, we will help you. But you have to gather, make a survey, and get back to me. Then we will discuss about it. We had a few meetings afterwards. And after 2 months, because we put our members, architects at work, free of charge, engineer free of charge for that project. And after 2 months, it started to rise. But before the end of my term as chair, it was impossible to finish that building. So at the end of my first year as chair, the board asked me to stay as chair of community service to finish that project. I gladly agreed. And before the end of my second term, the building was finished, inaugurated, and handed over. The district governor from Kenya came personally to Mauritius for the inauguration of that building. And I can tell you, up to today, whenever I go back, I always visit. And when I'm there, I'm their hero, because they are still making use of that building. For the elders, have a party of card or domino, children to meet, to have their tuition. And if there's any special social event, they make use of the center as well. And it was the first Rotary village core to be built on the island of Mauritius, and it was under my chairmanship. Now they are called RCC, but at that time it was RBC. Those are the two great moments in my Rotary life that I will never forget, that will always travel with me, besides many others. Do you have any question for me? From the audience or from the Zoom meeting, if you have any question, I'll be glad to take them and I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability.
very interested to hear those stories. Do you have any similar stories of this district? Not necessarily of your leadership, but good Rotary stories of this district.
This district? Well, I was the chair for the bidding committee for the 2010 convention, which I brought to Montreal. I worked on that for 4 years. Traveled extensively to Singapore, Buenos Aires, Barcelona, and it was also Singapore, Buenos Aires, Barcelona, and it was Brisbane. We finally ended by getting that convention because I galvanized help. That's the beauty of Rotary. That's the beauty of thing that you can achieve. Because when I was in Mauritius and afterwards when I moved here, I attended 16 international conventions up to now, besides my district conference. Many, 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 many. So when you attend an international conference, you meet people, especially when you are from a particular area. At that time, I was from Africa, because Mauritius is in Africa. So I was in the Africa group. When I moved here, I'm in the North American group. But I attend each and every meeting of different groups, like Korean, Japanese, whatever. You meet people, you establish relationship. I can tell you that I can travel the world now without the fear of not having a roof over my head, even if all the hotels are full. This is the magic of Rotary, and this is the magic of fellowship and friendship. True friendship. I've also done other things in the district, but this is the one that I can be proud of because I was able to bring over 30,000 people in the city of Montreal for our 2010 convention. Of course, I was the chair of the bid committee, but had a team with me. It was not me alone. Because we have to pull together, and as a team, we can do things. We can make things happen. Yes, sir?
Yes, my name is John Boyce. In my experience, each district governor has usually brought something unique to the district. Do you have a goal this year to leave your mark on this district?
Yes, sir. Our president theme is Imagine Rotary. My theme, our theme, as it for the district, is inclusion. Inclusion in the broad sense. What, besides trying to include in all levels, I would like to leave something for the people that are in need for food security. I would like, that's why I was going to share at the end of my presentation that for all those who are planning to attend the district conference in Montreal from the 5th to the 7th of May, I would kindly request you to bring at least 2 non-perishable food, because we are going to do a special moment for that, for the needy people. And I am heavily involved with the Rotary Club of Club Premier in Montreal for that food drive. And I was very happy to participate yesterday at the food drive as well with the Rotary Club of Frontenac and the Rotary Club of Kingston, together with AG Paul. I had packed cartons with food. And I would like to leave that also as a signature mark during my governorship. On top of trying to improve membership as well. Membership, as you all know, is a very delicate issue. But I believe that all of you, when you talk to your friends, when you talk to your neighbors, they will have a sense of what you do and your involvement. Sometimes they may ask you, how do you find time? You simply by saying that when the heart is there, the mind will be there, and at the same time, you will find the time. You have to want to do it, and you will find the time to do it. There's no magic in there. Dedication, everything comes from your heart.
Any questions here or on Zoom?
You know, as I said, our present theme is Imagine Rotary. Let's imagine what we can do together. And let's imagine what real inclusion can bring to this world of ours for the betterment of our society, to help those less fortunate and those in need, so that we can leave a real legacy of friendship, warmness, and careness for our fellow citizens. Please join me and help me to achieve that goal. And I would love to thank again all of you for your attention, for taking the time to come and listen to what I had to share with you. And for all those who are on Zoom as well, thank you very, very much for your participation. Thank you.